When you're talking about gamers, there's a whole bunch of different stereotypes that come to mind. You have the stereotype for casual gamers, for FPS gamers, for sports-only gamers, and, of course, the negative stereotype for girl gamers. Most of these have already been explored by people who automatically resent the stereotype they're put in. However, there's another stereotype, one that's a bit more subtle, but really prevalent in the minds of a lot of gamers. And this is the stereotype for RPG gamers. I decided to do a little bit of investigative research about what people think about gamers that primarily play RPGs.
What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of an RPG?
Well, I think they're pretty suck. Like a movie that's like 60 hours long.
So my first thought in RPG, I usually think that it's a pretty long, complicated, complex story.
The first thing I think of when you talk about role-playing games in any format is story.
Probably now the complexity of, or simplicity of the story.
A lot of the stories like irrelevant.
More shift toward action-based gameplay as opposed to traditional turn-based.
Do you think that games in the RPG genre tend to be easier than those in other genres?
Well, yeah. I mean, can you think of any easier game?
I don't think RPGs are easier than the other genre games. I think RPGs are more adventurous. You get to do more free roam.
Role-playing game allows you to interact much more.
Not only do they need strategic thinking in combat, usually RPGs require patience, determination, and time, and understanding of the story and characters.
A lot of people seem to believe that PC or console-based role-playing games don't require the same set of skills that are required when you play like an FPS or, my personal favorite, an RTS.
However, this just isn't true, especially among recent RPGs that incorporate elements from other genres. Like the Mass Effect series, in which the combat scenes sometimes play out like some of the missions from an FPS. I found the combat in Dragon Age Origins interesting as well, since the specific skill patterns needed at higher difficulty levels reminded me of the split-second decision-making you need in an RTS. Role-playing games are mostly story-centric, which means you'll be spending a lot of time learning about the virtual in-game world. I completely disagree with people who assume that all RPGs are easy just because they focus more on immersion and less on competitive combat. Take a game like Persona 3 for the PS2. Though there is some turn-based combat, part of leveling up your personas involves developing social links by interacting with the NPCs in-game. Combine that with other features like persona fusing, and you actually have a pretty complex system to maintain.
So yeah, I don't think RPGs are just for casual gamers or gamers without real skills. However, I do think it's really interesting that a lot of people seem to discount RPGs as being just for non-skilled gamers. However, this just... I messed that one up. However,